When water levels in the Mossel Dam Reservoir fell in 2010, people caught a glimpse of something long submerged, but it wasn't until much later that the reservoir had dried up enough for archaeologists to explore this mysterious find. Hello everyone! In this video, we will talk about a remarkable archaeological discovery that emerged when the forces of nature unveiled a hidden secret. But before we start, make sure to subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon for regular updates. Let's get started. A drought-depleted Iraqi reservoir revealed a powerful kingdom's palace. After being revealed in 2010, the reservoir's contents disappeared before experts could investigate them. Archaeologists returned to the site in 2018, but they didn't have time to examine the discovery. Only the Mossel Dam revelation brightened a drought that destroyed farms and lives. Iraq's culture was ancient, with only 36 miles of coastline and 2/5 of Iraq's desert. Ancient Mesopotamia made great advances in agriculture and literature. Its urban centers were the first to be acknowledged as cities. Northern Iran and Turkey have hilly Kurdistan. Dams irrigate Iraqi Kurdistan's Tigris-Euphrates-dependent Mediterranean vegetation. Alpine herbs and flora are abundant. Wolves, jackals, and other creatures live in the south, where the date palm dominates. Southern Iraq has hot, arid lowlands and cooler peaks. Northeast Rainier Highlands summer and winter are the only southern seasons with 4 to 7 inches of rainfall. Although winter is significantly cooler, the north is cooler than the south, and winters last longer. Rain does fall in the foothills, and the mountains there see snowfall in the summer. The entire country is affected by a dry wind called the shamal, which prevents clouds from forming and exposes the country to strong sunlight and dust storms. Authorities first considered building a dam in the 1950s. This gypsum and anhydrite dam was hard to build, but it symbolized Iraq's power. Swiss, German, Italian consultants developed and built the 1984 project. Since water began to pass through the structure 2 years later, engineers have been fighting a collapse. Water-carved caves under the dam must be filled by 2016. The Iraqi government and its international partners invested millions in the dam, but if it breaks, 500,000 people could die. Iraq's deserts are expanding while its farmland shrinks. Poor drainage from excessive irrigation can cause soil salt buildup. Turkey's neighbors have utilized these waterways, decreasing rock flow. Syria's and Iran's dams have reduced Iraq's water flow for 4 to 5 decades. This river obstruction has caused droughts in recent years by reducing rainfall. Years of conflict prevented Iraq from fixing the Euphrates' roughly reduced water supply. Before it reached an urgent point, the lack of rain in 2018 meant that water needed to be released from the reservoir of the Mossel Dam to help with drought relief, and it was upon doing so that a staggering discovery was made. With the water levels now low, the remains of a building underneath were exposed, named Camion by researchers. It appears to have been a palace. It may be 3,400 years old, with no way of knowing how long they would be accessible. During the first part of the dig, the waters were still receding, so more and more of the site was revealed. At one point, the ruins reached around 23 feet in height, but then winter began, and with it came the rain that would conceal Camion again. The researchers managed to explore 8 of the palace's 10 rooms, eventually concluding that Camion may date back to the Mitanni Empire, which would make the site particularly notable. Rooms had mud brick walls, fired brick floors, and Mitanni wall paintings. According to one expert, the red and blue designs are an archaeological sensation. Indeed, they may well have been common in the Mitanni period, but it seems they are very rarely found preserved. It may not be the most well-known of empires, but the Mitanni civilization once spanned parts of what are now Turkey, Syria, and Iraq, and was one of the region's great powers before the Hittites and the Assyrians invaded it. The Mitanni Empire's oldest horse training manual is intriguing. Mitanni were great horsemen and invented a new chariot wheel. Mitanni was a major power along with Assyria, Babylonia, and Hatti. Hanags were its people. Albert the Assyrians called them this, but the Egyptians called them the Medinaires. The Naharan, another name for Mitanni, was the land of the Hurrians. Indeed, Hurrian was the language spoken by most of its people. Despite the rulers coming from further east, these rulers called themselves the Mariano. They were considered warriors, but also intermarried with their subjects and took their names. Washakani, the Mitanni capital, may have been on the Haber River. Researchers believe Sakon built over it. The Tel El Fakariat mound in Syria may also have Washakani's remains. Wasakanaim may be linked to Sanskrit or Kurdish Bishkani, meaning good or affluent. Control of the Haber Euphrates and parts of the Tigris apparently helped the Mitanni consolidate their power. The Egyptians were reliant on artificial irrigation to water their crops, but the Mitanni's lands required no such intervention, so they could grow crops and breed sheep. Mitanni chariots pioneered spoke wheels, making them lighter, faster, and more maneuverable. The Mitanni had an advantage over the Sumerians since chariot warfare was common. The 4-tablet Mitanni horse training guidebook comprises 1080 lines. Kekuli, the Mitanni Kekuli master horse trainer, describes his techniques in the opening sentence. Turkey found it because its culture was destroyed by subsequent invasions and conquests. We don't know much about Mitanni history, but known correspondences with Egyptian and Syrian leaders give us the names of some of its most prominent kings, such as King Shostar, who ruled around 1430 BC and is thought to have expanded the empire. Mitanni-Egyptian marriage partnerships were also known. Later, the Assyrians conquered Mitanni, though again, by 1245 BC, we can be fairly sure that the Hittite Empire was declining and that the Assyrians were on the rise. The Hittite ruler Shatuare was forced to pledge allegiance to Adad-nirari of Assyria. The Mosul Dam discovery, especially the 10 clay tablets with cuneiform writing, was noteworthy. Translating these papers may reveal Mitanni's life. Translated tablets are available. Kemian's past status hints it may have been Zakiku, a city mentioned in previous literature. If these documents are accurate, Zakiku was a city that may have stood for 400 years or more. In 2016, the University of Tübingen helped discover a Bronze Age city under Biseki. Palaces survived. Graveyard, magnificent road network. That's it for today. What do you think about this incredible discovery? Let us know in the comments section. Please like and share our videos. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon for regular updates.